Mr Speaker, I move the motion relating to regional businesses and industries in the terms in which it appears on the notice paper.
I call the member for Indi.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Colleagues, manufacturing, farming and food production are of major importance to Australia's regional economy, and agriculture in the Hugh-Murray region, which includes my electorate of Indi, contributes $2.3 billion to the economy. Indi is home to approximately 600 manufacturing businesses that generate turnover of almost $200 million. In 2014, manufacturing and industrial businesses were the major source of employment in Albury-Wodonga, and this equates to 20% of employment, and the industry sector accounts for 60% of all business activity. Its manufacturing is fundamental to regional Australia. And on May 29th this year, Victorian Senator Madigan, Wodonga College of TAFE and Wodonga City Council hosted the Australian Manufacturing and Farming Program, AMFP, in Wodonga. It was labelled Albury-Wodonga, perfect position, signifying the region's location as a national hub. More than 150 regional business representatives attended, and they stressed the need for government to develop a big picture plan to advance Australian manufacturing industries. And at the forum, I heard how farmers, manufacturers and industry are now more than ever experiencing the impacts of the global marketplace. The regional business community told me they are concerned about the unintended consequences of trade deals, food labelling, foreign investment, as well as the adverse impact that occurs to their businesses when the goalposts continue to change. They said to me, we need consistency of legislation, as well as wanting government to support Australian businesses through procurement. We know that future industries will require skilled personnel and a specialist approach to meet market needs. This requires government investment in education, training and professional development for the next generation of farmers, engineers, business entrepreneurs, teachers, marketers, all who have the ideas and innovation to value add to our production. Rural and regional Australian businesses need to be listened to. They need to be involved in decisions and their input acknowledged and advice considered in all aspects of planning. An example of government listening and acting positively occurred last week. Biofuel manufacturer Andrew White from AR Fuels in Barnawartha in Indi contacted me with concerns about the excise on domestically produced biofuel and fuel ethanol as proposed in the 2014-15 budget. Mr White, together with Gavin Hughes, CEO of Biofuels Association of Australia, came to Canberra, lobbied effectively, and to the government and opposition's credit, an agreement was reached on legislation that will benefit the whole industry. This type of cooperation brings confidence to the sector and has secured the future of a regional manufacturer and continues the momentum in the growth of biofuels. It works when we work together. And Indi abounds in manufacturing, clever manufacturers applying cutting-edge science and entrepreneurial skills. Businesses such as Mars Pet Care Australia, which employs more than 500 people in manufacturing and corporate functions, and with additional 500 jobs created and more than $130 million spent annually with suppliers. Mars Pet Foods continues to grow and invest in regional Australia. Wilson Transformers in Wodonga produces high-quality electricity transformers and employs about 70 people in its Wodonga factory. With a commitment to expertise, technology and safety and an emphasis on training and education, they have a real competitive edge in the marketplace. Another example, Lucas Mills in my local community of Wurrigi employs 35 staff and exports portable timber mills all over the world. These are classic regional manufacturers and they need to be supported. We know that the government has a commitment to infrastructure, and today I call for a national plan for significant infrastructure to connect rural and regional areas and to prioritise investment in nationally significant infrastructure to support growth in rural and regional manufacturing industries. High-speed internet, high-speed reliable internet, high-speed rail, a review of legislation affecting agriculture and manufacturing and cross-border anomalies, and capacity to enable regions to be part of the long-term planning for their future. I'm very proud to represent regional Australia. And in doing so, I'm committed to working with my parliamentary colleagues to develop the vision of a strong and prosperous rural and regional Australia, alive with opportunities for all. And I'm very pleased to seek the support for this motion. Thank you.
I thank the member. Is there a seconder for the motion?
Yes, Mr Deputy Speaker, I second the motion.
Does the member wish to speak to the motion?
I do indeed.
Okay. The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Corangamite.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker, and it's my great pleasure to rise and speak on this motion. As the member for Indi knows, the best friend of regional Australia is the coalition